Welcome back to Totem Pole Sports. I'm Coach Hutchings here with Bald Coach K. Coach, how you doing?
Oh,
Another fun
everything
night
is
of wrestling.
good. Oh, yeah. 30-year anniversary. Big deal. Most watched since 2020.
Yeah, man. It's crazy to see that there's stuff going on. Not gonna lie, I was a little bit underwhelmed with everything that they did. I thought there was some really good stuff, stuff that they could have done better, more people that they could have potentially brought out. Won't lie, it was nice seeing Ric Flair back there, even if he wasn't doing anything. And then, of course, Hulk Hogan, can't go wrong with the Hulkster being there. So, my first question to you, though, is who do you think stole the show out of the entire night, those 3 hours?
Oh, I'll tell you what, that first hour, in my opinion, it was fire. The disheartening thing was that first promo, man. It seemed like they were having some mic issues right from the get. So that kind of left a bad feeling in my stomach for the get, just the jump on this. I mean, these guys been doing this for 30 years. You figured that would, come out and be a home run right from the get, but there was some mic issues. You saw somebody kind of run past Hogan. It was just kind of an oddly played out deal. But after that, man, getting the bloodlines out there and those guys all sitting at the table and them calling each other out and stuff like that, man, that was pure money to me, because I've had issues with, being in the football team, arguing amongst my fellow linemen, arguing with family and stuff like that. And the way they kind of went at each other, I mean, that was gold to me, man. Sami Zayn, he was fire. The Usos, Jey Uso, for a long time was the last guy that wanted to have anything to do with Sammy, and for him to kind of cover his back there and show those guys the footage, everything. I mean, that was done. I mean, to the T, man. That was beautiful. I thought those guys stole the show with that. I would say probably Jey Uso on that, man, because that one you could tell he was coming from the heart, and that's what grabbed me, and that's who I thought stole the show for sure.
Yeah, and I've always liked Sami Zayn, watching him come up through NXT and everything going on. I think it's a great spot for him to be in. Like you said, Jey Uso, coming to the call, showing a video, helping out,
Yeah.
everything there. Um, definitely something that's going to last for quite some time, and definitely brought the hype going into next weekend with the Royal Rumble. There was a few things, though, that I was kind of like, I don't necessarily know what's going on. Tell me your thoughts, though, about the cage match, and how that went down.
Yeah, I mean, to me, man, that was very suspect. I mean, they had been kind of pumping that match for a while, and to see it to end so quickly, it was just kind of baffling to me. That there's rumors that first the first event, went a little bit long, with Judgment Day and the Usos, but that was an amazing finish there. So I don't know if that kind of carried in. But the way they just kind of left it off, and they didn't continue it to maybe a match next week, or to continue it Friday, that left me not really liking it at that point. That's kind of where, to me, the whole show kind of turned. It was just kind of weak for me, man. It really
Yeah,
was.
so you got built up with Undertaker and Bray Wyatt, and then you've got a dud cage match where, all right, dude, there's locked in there. What do we do now? Type of thing. It's that's going to get where I was kind of let down, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people probably felt the exact same way going into it. I definitely think the main event, though, was pretty awesome, and then you can't uh, not have Brock Lesnar come out there and steal the show at the end, even though it's the very end of it. But Bobby Lashley, I mean, that guy is just a phenomenal athlete, phenomenal wrestler. So your thoughts on that main event?
Yeah, with Brock coming out there, uh, you know, you would think that maybe they would save that for WrestleMania, but I think they had to do something to get some more pop from the crowd, and to unleash him there at the end, and for him to F5 both guys and leave Theory on top to win it. I think it was something that, yeah, you kept your eyes on. You couldn't turn away, you couldn't turn off the TV when you saw that guy come out there. So kudos for them to finish strong at least.
Yeah, and it was funny with DX and old DX guys coming out there and everybody saying they're retired and can't wrestle. I actually got on after Raw and started playing. It was free WWE 2K22, and started just messing around with the build your own character thing. And I made myself a 5'8" heavyweight, like gigantic.
Yeah.
And but it's cool. Like you go to the Performance Center and they got Shawn Michaels and all the different guys that you would see on there. Then you see them, how they kind of play those two things between the video game world and actually what they're doing in the show. But man, it was, for me being a part of wrestling, getting an opportunity to try out there, I was like, they hit it nail on the head with everything that's going on. But then they're like, at the same time, all right, well, we're going to get in the ring, but we're going to still cut promos, but we're not going to do any wrestling. And I still think that those guys could do a little bit. And I know Shawn Michaels got the head injury stuff, and Triple H is retired. But man, Triple H is still a phenomenal athlete, and no matter how old he gets, I mean, you talk about guys like Ric Flair that wrestled until they're 70. Those guys ain't going to be retired.
Yeah, for sure. The thing too that I missed about that segment the most, man, and a guy that was such a huge part of that was, Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
Billy Gunn, it was, he was, as much of that group to the core as anybody. And for them not to be able to work out a deal, and have him on that show was also disappointing. And I think him out of all those guys would be a guy that can still compete, man, because he's definitely in some great shape and he's doing an amazing job over at AEW. So it's kind of shocking that they couldn't hash something out. I think you kind of put both shows over when you have them both collide and be in that same ring and that same opportunity. So I think they both missed the ball on that as well.
Yeah,
But
that's just another thing. Yeah, keep going.
but yeah, as a total, man, for me with all of the legends, the Taker part was special. Flair being there with Charlotte, that was super strong. But other people I was really invested in, like DDP, man. Like I shouldn't have to search for these people. Audra Blaze, I shouldn't have to search for her. And Divas in a total. The Bellas not being there. They could have had Lita on there, Trish Stratus, Sable, Tori Wilson. So many legendary women that were not mentioned on the show, or you barely saw, you really had to be up there with the microscope to see them. And I think that was another thing where they really dropped the ball on them, because the ladies pro wrestling is as good as it's ever been. And, if they want to continue to keep pushing that, you got to put them up. You got to put them up there to be the stars that they are.
No, I agree, and I've followed Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch throughout pretty much their entire wrestling career, and just seeing the arc that they've had and how they've gotten over. But then you think back to all the crazy Monday Night Raw moments, and you're talking about the 30th anniversary Monday Night Raw, all the stuff that happened, the Monday Night Wars, all the different. I mean, who can forget live sex? Honestly, that's something that will always be in there. I mean, not necessarily the best skit or anything like that, but just the fact that they were doing stuff like that
Yeah,
was nuts.
yeah.
And like you said, Lita and Trish Stratus and these people that have just were like the foundation, and rest in peace China. But man, like they could have done something, about her Monday night matches and different things that's gone on there too. So no, you're exactly right. But I do think overall it was a good lead into what's going to be happening next week or this coming up weekend in the Royal Rumble. There's a lot of different theories out there, odds out there, who's going to win, who's going to show up. There's some big matches as well going on. So I think we're actually going to leave the Royal Rumble match for last, but I'm
Okay.
still going to throw up the Royal Rumble predictions because I want to
Yeah.
know Roman Reigns or Kevin Owens undisputed WWE Universal title.
Yeah,
Who
man.
you got?
You know what? The to me, to take the title off of Roman Reigns heading into WrestleMania makes no sense to me. So I'm going to go with the Bloodlines, man. I think that those guys are going to pull it out. I think it's going to be a very physical fight, and it's going to be one that everybody's going to be paying attention to for sure. And you have a lot going on there with Solo, with Sammy, and that connection. And he mentioned that there was going to be one final test, so I'm really interested to see exactly what that is for the Bloodlines and moving forward.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I like Roman Reigns a lot. I am probably the biggest Kevin Owens hater on the planet.
Hmm.
Just somebody. I respect what he's done. I won't say that I don't respect what he's done, but just what I see as a professional wrestler, what I know in my personal experience, and the guys I looked up to, and the guys I trained with, and from what I've also heard from people that have been in the business. I'm not going to go too deep into that, but just never been a fan of the guy. And I think they could kind of too much of Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. I mean, they've kind of done that a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't see that was going to be something that they would do. But I just don't think. I think Kevin Owens is just take him off. He's not one of the guys that I want to watch any day of the week. To be honest with you.
Yeah, yeah, I heard that. The KO show.
Yeah, exactly. It's personal bias. I'm not gonna lie, it
Yeah.
is. But at the same time, there's so many other people out there that I think could definitely compete with Roman Reigns. Whether it's just athletically or just storyline wise, that would be a much better draw. A guy that I really miss, that I haven't really seen as much as Cesaro. I mean, that guy was going up so big, and just I guess SmackDown and whatnot has done a bad job. But I thought they missed the mark on him, and I really thought at this day and age he'd be a guy that's going to be at the top for all these type of fights. Um, but I
Yeah.
think you're spot on with Bloodline Roman Reigns taking that away, because I just don't think um, linearly, going down the road, that it's a smart plan before WrestleMania. They got to blow
Hmm.
up WrestleMania big time. Um, Moving on to the Raw Women's title, you got Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss is my absolute favorite female wrestler, hands down. So I'm going to be rooting for her. I don't know if she's going to take the championship back, but I definitely want her to win.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's going to be a good match, man. The thing about Bianca Belair, man, that I'll never forget is that WrestleMania moment where she military presses the girl, walks up the steps with her military press. Man, that was just such an impressive feat. And I'm telling you, man, she definitely doesn't miss a lot of days in the gym. And Alexa Bliss is one of the smaller. She's one of the smaller performers. So if she doesn't step up, she could really get ragdolled in this match. I think she's got some tricks up her sleeve as well. She's going to have to, because Bianca Belair right now, man, she's at the top of her game right now. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. But I'm gonna slide with Belair as well on that, man. I think it's just going to be. I just don't see them moving titles before Mania, unfortunately.
Yeah, again, I root for Alexa Bliss. I met her way back in 2012, 2013. She was at the Arnold Sports Festival. She was the youngest IFBB pro, either bikini or figure,
Okay.
and was absolutely. I mean, she's so small, but so incredibly beautiful and talented. And then again, just I got to follow her as she took the entire trip going up to making it to WWE, making it to champion. And I remember specifically in my tryout, it was her and Becky Lynch were training,
Oh wow.
and so we got all 30 whatever of us standing there looking at Coach Bloom, and like, they say don't take your eyes off the coaches when they're talking, but they also say make sure that you say hello to every wrestler that walks in the building. You're supposed to shake everybody's hand. It's one of the little
uh,
things in wrestling. And so they got done training. They had a big pay-per-view match coming up, and Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch walking down, and I just go, just wave right at them, and they smiled and waved right back at me. And nothing was ever said from any of the coaches or anything like that. And
wow.
honestly, from just being around I think I was the only one that even acknowledged that they were there. And again, they both smiled and waved back at me. Even I want to say, William Regal might have made a face or something like that, but it wasn't like a bad thing, again, because I'm kind of doing
Uh,
off of what. But long story short, I've just been following and pulling for her to keep doing well. Um, because she is the small person on the block. You got China, if you think about everything in the past, to Alexa Bliss, the small, fierce package that she is.
yeah, absolutely.
Definitely the next match that I think is going to be pretty entertaining. You can't ever go wrong with Bray Wyatt. The guy just has phenomenal showmanship, knows how to do it. and then of course going against LA Knight in the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. So definitely getting one over with the sponsorship there, but I still think it'll be a really cool, entertaining match. And my money is on Bray Wyatt. I know they're trying to get LA Knight, keep getting him over, keep getting him up, but Bray Wyatt just guy's a monster.
Yeah, you got to think something's going to show up there too. That there's just so much going on with the Uncle Howdy and everything. And but I'm a huge fan of Bray Wyatt as well. His family background, Mike Rotundo, his Uncle Barry, his grandfather was Blackjack Mulligan. That guy, he's just one of those guys that has probably forgot more stuff than any of us will ever know and see. And it's good to see him get back. I know he was out of the game for a while, and he had to get himself right, but I think he's back where he needs to be at. And that was an amazing moment that he had with Undertaker. They had that very stiff match in Mania a few years back. And, you kind of saw, to me, it was kind of a little passing of the torch right there. And, just so when he went and he kind of whispered in his ear, he was actually saying to him, hey, just, go ahead and shave your head like the bald Coach K, and you won't have to wear a bandana like I do later on down the line. No, I'm just kidding about that. But that was good, man. I'm sure he gave him some very good advice, words of encouragement. And, I mean, who else would you not want to get advice from than, the living legend, The Undertaker, one of the greatest of all times.
Yeah, and just, the idea behind Bray Wyatt, when I think about Bray Wyatt and I think about wrestling in years past, and just the interconnection with the Undertaker, you think about Paul Bearer coming out and the smoke and the darkness and everything, and it's just very reminiscent when you see Bray Wyatt's character just in general, from where he's gone from where he was to where he is now, and the ability to get the entire crowd to just be focused in on what's going on is. People get excited for a lot of different things, but when when the music hits and you see Bray Wyatt coming out, you're in tune. It's going to be an awesome night. It's going to be an awesome match, and this Pitch Black, we'll see what happens. But I do think you're not far off the mark if something else is going to happen between these two, especially in a Pitch Black match.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. I'm going with Bray Wyatt in that one for sure. It should be a battle. Who knows what's going to happen? This will be my first Pitch Black Mountain Dew night.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never seen it before, so we're going to make some history.
So bringing on to the actual Royal Rumble itself, starting with the men's, looking at some of the odds, Cody Rhodes being the favorite to win the Rumble. I don't know. I think that they're definitely putting him out there. They had that big cut scene of him getting ready and getting healed up and everything like that. But you have some big time guys that definitely could. I mean, I see Seth Rollins winning it. I see AJ Styles winning it. Sami Zayn, I don't know if he'll actually win it, but I think he'll definitely be entertaining. And it'll be funny. You're not funny. It'll be interesting to see who else is going to come out and cause a little havoc in that match.
Yeah, without a doubt. I'm sure they got some tricks up their sleeves. I've heard different stories where, Sammy will be the last entry and Roman goes up and says, give me the entry, or let's one of his other guys get the entry. So I've heard different stories on it, and but I gotta think that's Cody's to lose, But if they do, that bloodline, that thing is so hot right now. I think if they did have Sammy win that match, go into WrestleMania against Roman, I don't think that without a doubt would sell a lot of tickets as well. So, it's going to be very interesting. I think worst case scenario, would be Brock Lesnar. I think we've just kind of, we've hit that on the head too many times. They're both amazing guys, but it's time to put somebody else over. You know what I mean? It's time to put somebody else in the mix, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, Lesnar is a headliner without a doubt. And when you think of WrestleMania, there's multiple ways to headline WrestleMania, not just in the main event match, but there's other ways to have amazing experiences and matches in that. And there's other ways that you can use him. It's not always for Universal Championship and stuff like it. Lesnar's been around for how many years now? And always in the same type of matches. Always, how many suplexes can a guy throw? Uh, doesn't have much else. I mean, he's a phenomenal athlete.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong against that. But at the same time, all right, he's going to suplex him 13 times, but then all of a sudden somebody's going to spear him once and he's out. Like, who knows what's going to happen? But the thing that kind of gets me in terms of these odds is at plus 350, The Rock favorite to win, or underdog, but still up in the top to win the Royal Rumble. What are the, do you agree with those odds that he's one of the top guys to win it, or do you think that that's just something that they might get thrown in and then get thrown out?
I think that's something they just put there to try to get your money because he's probably not going to be in it. But if he was to show up, I would probably throw all my money on it. But it's one of those where you can't do you can't do an in-game bet on that. They won't take a live bet on pro wrestling. But if he was to show up, I would probably throw all my money on that. Another one I would love to see that would be a dark horse that we were talking about that's been training, Stone Cold Steve Austin, man. I would love to see him. I know he's been he's staying in good shape and everything, but he would be one that I would love to see, go in there. And I think after what he did last year, WrestleMania against Kevin Owens, he shows he probably doesn't have as many as he once did, but that cat can still kick some butt,
Yeah, and thinking back to the Vince and Stone Cold saga that occurred, and putting him number one and having to fight through everybody and the Royal Rumble, the guy's done it all. I think it would be awesome to see him back in there. I'm wondering really who the person is that's going to get everybody in the ring to stop and turn their heads and say, "Holy crap, this guy's coming out right now." It could be The Rock, could be Stone Cold. I don't know who else it could be, but I just know that something's going to happen where, again, everybody's going to stop in their tracks and being like, "This is the guy that's going to clear house right now."
It always does. Every year there's somebody that they get in there. Absolutely.
So moving on to the women's, you got a couple different people that could definitely take the cake there. I mean, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Becky Lynch gets in there. And, of course, Ronda Rousey being a plus 30 or 3,000 underdog.
Yeah.
You can win a lot of money if she decides to step in there. But like you said, the women's division is one of the best that it's been. And there's a lot of things that can happen. And I remember the first women's Royal Rumble wasn't fantastic. I mean, it wasn't terrible either, but I think that the more that they've got going on now, they can really get this thing over the top and have it really be entertaining. And then also bringing out some people that have been gone for a while. Why am I blanking on her name? She's from Richmond. I was talking to my mom about her last night.
Oh yeah. She's.
Why am I blanking on her?
I'm having the same brain fart. But
I can't do this right now.
As far as the my favorite, Rhea Ripley, man, she's just a savage, man. She reminds me a lot of China. She could be one where I could see her compete in the men's. Like she's that, that bad. She's legit. She's got the moves. She's got the swag and everything. And I think you push her to the moon. I think she, could be in a WrestleMania match against either belt and walk away with either belt too. I think this might be her time. The group that she's joined, and how much better she's made. Dominic. It's Dominic Mysterio. That guy's grown so much being in that same clique with her, and I think she has a lot to do with it. And she's just a talent. I think they need to push her. So that would be my who I would like to see.
Yeah, and it was Mickie James. I don't know why that blanked on me.
Richmond, VA,
I've met her
baby.
before. Yep, Richmond. I was even talking to my mom about her the other day, just talking about wrestling, and she had mentioned different people. And I was like, "Yeah, Mickie James." We were actually talking about trying to get her on the podcast. Is what we were trying to.
That would be great.
See if it could happen.
We'll have to reach out to her.
But I'll tell you who might also make a stink in there is Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, Shayna. She's built for it.
she came in with me during my tryout and was absolutely just, you could see the charisma. You knew she had a lot of talent, very athletic. And then, of course, championships and just all sorts of different stuff that she's done. She's still pretty young in terms of her career. So, she could definitely get in there. I don't know if she could win it this year, but definitely make a stink for a lot of people. Come out there, Queen of Spades.
Yeah, man, without a doubt. I think a girl like Sonya Deville as well. She's one that definitely gets a lot of heat from the crowd, and I think she'd be a great one to possibly win that as well.
And so, very much looking forward to the Royal Rumble. I think it'll be a very entertaining show, and we'll set up WrestleMania in April. I guess they're out in LA this year, so it's going to be definitely over the top, showtime, all sorts of different camera flashes and different WrestleMania moments. But the last question I want to ask you after the Brock Lesnar return is what is the ceiling for Brock Lesnar? We kind of hit on it earlier in the episode today, but where can Brock Lesnar go in terms of boosting himself, boosting the industry? Is it just he's reached his peak and he's just going to stay riding that wave, or is there things that he can do that are going to even increase his stock in the business?
I think the guy's done it all. I think the next thing for him is a Hall of Fame jacket or the Hall of Fame ring. I mean, the guy's done it all in every sport. He's a living legend. I think somehow I don't know if you got to see the promo, but it got a lot of heat because they were in Philly last night. But when Paul Heyman was announcing, he was saying, and he said, Brock Purdy, is going to come there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man. It was great. It got a lot of heat, but maybe they could bring him onto the bloodlines as a bodyguard or something like that. But I don't see how where you would go any higher with him. I think he, for just doing it part time, he's at the top of the game. They could put the title on him, but you're only going to see him a couple times a year. And, I think they've kind of seen how that goes. And, I think they're they're liking where they are with Roman. And I don't think you have Roman kill everybody to lose to Brock Lesnar again,
Right. Yeah, it just makes you think. Totem Pole Nation, definitely comment below what you think about where Brock Lesnar can go. I don't dislike the idea of him being a bodyguard, but at the same time, he makes me think, like, would he actually be a bodyguard?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's probably, like you said, he's a Hall of Famer. The guy's
Yeah.
done it all. Is he going to stick there to be the guy on the sideline that he just breaks up stuff and occasionally comes in and make a fuss with different wrestlers, or is he just going to continue coming back 4 times a year, beating somebody up, and then having the title and then getting the title stripped from him?
Yeah, I see that because that's the thing. Like they got Solo, man. Solo's that bodyguard. They don't really they don't need another one of him. He is their Brock Lesnar. You know what I mean? And that was another thing I had heard, though. A rumor that I'd heard is that Sika and Afa, they were under the weather, so that's why those guys couldn't make it till Monday night. And the same with Rikishi. Who those are the fathers of Roman Reigns, Solo, and Jay and Jimmy Uso. So that was another rumor that I'd heard, that they were trying to get those guys there, but they were a little under the weather and didn't want to take any chances with anybody.
Well, I think hopefully they feel better, because I know anybody that I know that likes wrestling, if they saw Rikishi coming out there, they'd lose their minds just to see him again.
Mm-hmm.
So. Well, Coach, I'm definitely excited about what's up and coming in WWE. I think the Royal Rumble is going to be well worth the watch, well worth the buy. So, Totem Pole Nation, check that out. It'll be after Sunday Night Football, so we'll know who's in the Super Bowl by the time we get to the Royal Rumble. So,
definitely. I want to give a shout out. Thank you, Totem Pole Nation. I mean, 35,000 followers. I mean, unbelievable. Let's blow this thing up. Let's go. We love you guys. Comment. Check us out on Twitter. Let us know what's going on with you. We want your questions. We want to talk to you. Let us know what you're feeling.
Agreed, Coach. You hit it right on the head. Totem Pole Nation, you guys are amazing. The support is unbelievable. We see it in our day-to-day personal lives with people that we know that follow our channel. We've had people see our shirts and see our hats and saying, hey, we watched your podcast, we watched the Coaches Clinic and all the different stuff. And again, 35K followers, subscribers. We're just hitting milestone after milestone, and we cannot do it without you all. We also got to give a shout out to Cultivate Wellness. They have been helping us out big time with what's going on with the podcast, and they're a fantastic company. Check them out at cultivatewellness.com, cultivate with a K. They will definitely discuss anything CBD related, cannabinoid, endocannabinoid system. They will help you out. So definitely talk to your doctor before you go into any type of treatment of anything. But CBD, all natural, 100% legal in all 50 states and non-psychoactive is worth a try if you have not already. But again, always consult your doctor before going into any type of idea of treatment. So, Coach K, it's been a pleasure talking with you, man.
Always
hoping
good
to get
time.
down there one of these days to check out that view, and hopefully we can see some matches down there. And they'll, I mean, it's the stomping ground, Florida, man.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of things we can see down there. So, well,
Thank
Coach,
you very much, man.
Yeah, we'll wrap this up, and we'll definitely come back on either Sunday for the Royal Rumble preview right before it comes on, or we'll definitely do the recap the day after with all the craziness that is going to lead up into WrestleMania. So,
Yeah,
Totem
you
Pole
got it.
Nation, thanks very much. Coach K, thank you, and we'll see you soon.
All right, bud. Thank you.